setting it up here, guys. Trying to see at the same time. Jesus, my bad. The phone is too off. Thought I had a good system here. Yeah. That one can stand there now. Okay. Okay, test. Hello YouTube, this is Friday and I'm in the group, the Fighterdiet community in the FD12, and I'm gonna talk about surfing diet tsunami waves. And what I mean by that is typically what is very prevalent in the diet culture, which is eating disorders. That in the fitness world where everyone is competing and training really hard to get lean and strong and have one-time event where you're gonna stand on stage, flex, and then when the show is over, everyone peeks out. Even though they promise that they'll feel so great with a lean body, nothing feels as addicting as feeling strong and lean and feeling the abs when you touch your stomach. Ugh. But you forget about it, and then all the gluttony comes and all the food that you haven't been able to allow yourself for months are now accessible, and nobody cares if you eat it or not, and you're not gonna have to be in a bikini on stage. Now let me ask you, how is that gonna motivate you to hang on to your healthy habits? So basically what the whole world is doing is having approved eating disorders because everyone binge eats, and then since everyone else does it, it's misery wants company. But I'm not like that, and I didn't like that in the industry. I always wanted to be able to maintain my lean physique. That was my inspiration, what I wanted to do, my pursuit. That's what I'm teaching you. But in a world where everyone keeps on doing what they've done in the past about all macros, extreme training, forget about what you did, eat in private, then pretending that your body is messed up, forgetting that your average caloric intake is not what you think because you forgot that what you eat in private, when you forget about your dream, when you want to go and hide, when you feel like, oh, just one more time, and you want to enjoy all the glutton that go straight to your fat spot where you want to lean out. But that moment, you rather want to live in the moment, enjoy all the stuff that is going to fatten you up and have you spend more 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. So the next 2 weeks that you're spending after one of those diet tsunami waves where you can't control it, where you curse and you promise that you will never do this again because you know better, of course, you have to get lean. What are you going to do? Well, you can't keep it together because, again, you're relying on the same methodology that you can't keep up because you're human and you're going to be weak. And if you could override evolution and kind of starve on point just to starve to be lean, you would just miraculously walk around and then boom, dead. So it's a defense mechanism in us that we get hungry and can't stop wanting to eat when our bodies think that we should eat. So I wanted to show you an example because everyone in my community pretty much pretends that they have everything covered and they want to be perfect, and they kind of don't see what perfect means that you believe that everything should be clean, perfect as you kind of a religious kind of Puritan style living. Well, there's more to life than just eating clean or eating perfect. And also, perfection is not the same thing as getting your perfect body or your perfect lifestyle. So you're starting in the wrong area, the wrong end, and that's why you never get out of your diet prison. But I open up Fighterdiet Nirvana, and just listen to the term Nirvana. Now think about the monks, how long they study Buddhism without going back and eating junk food in Buddhist terms. They don't go and just do Christianity a little bit when they want to be a sinner and be repented. So the thing with this is that you have to own up to what you do when you don't want to remember it. You have to realize who you are. You have to study your own new human nature. the more you understand about human nature and how you all dualistic and this dichotomy that you have every day, the catch-22 of fitness. How do you eat to get lean, and also how do you burn fat, and how do you build muscle at the same time, also fall in love with it so you do it forever, but also not being hungry and also being happy. See, how the heck are you gonna solve that? You want too much. So since somehow in my group, where I'm completely honest always and I explain how it works, and it's not like I'm psychic, I know it because it takes one to know one. Plus, I've been doing this in the industry and coaching for so long that you who sit there, I don't know what's wrong with me, you are kind of ignorant because you don't see and you don't want to know, because here's the thing about people. You don't really want to figure yourself out because you want to have the enjoyment of the food that you know is poisonous to you. You just want to have a little bit of fun in the process and forget about the consequence. Well, here's the thing. When you come to revelation to see that you don't get away from it and it stops you from ever getting anywhere and just makes you depressed, not until you have that revelation will you change, because you don't think that there's a need. And usually it's because there's ignorance involved, tons of it, and that's pandemic and always been. So I want to show you how easy it is to have a diet tsunami wave, because apparently I'm the only one who remembers that on Monday I'm gonna end up with a dream body that I have worked for the last all the time, right? So if I don't eat the way I want to wake up on Monday, of course I'm gonna get the consequence from that. Everyone gets that. So you can throw a tantrum every Monday. That's why I'm not into the Monday check-in where I say, well, you check in with me every day anyway. Because what you do when I'm not around is what's gonna tell you the outcome. I mean, you can think that you can pretend that it's about me disappointing me. That's what something, a lot of clients want to tell, oh, I don't want to disappoint you. I'm like, you're not disappointing me. I know you're just human. You're just gonna be disappointed with yourself because the way you refuse to own up to your own repetitive kind of opposite directions to what you want to do with your life, it's just you who loses out on that, not me. I'm here sitting and living my dream body because I figured it out and I worked it through without letting myself off the hook. I was still fighting when I didn't want to fight, but I still was in the fight. It's called Fighterdiet for a reason, not crybaby diet. I wish it was easy. And I'm hard on you because you need it. Because everyone loves to be overwhelmed and confused and constipated at the same time. Well, I just know that you constipate in your mind if you never want to cleanse out all the diet cultural concepts and rules and things that you put in your overwhelming fitness life. And no wonder you hate your fitness life. I would too if I did what you do. But you keep on coming to my community, bringing that shit in. I'm just like, get out of that, because you're not getting anywhere. I see the same person with the same talk, the same motivation every time, never get anywhere further until you start working with your weaknesses and really pull those out from the closet that you kind of want to hide away. But you can't hide away, and you are all just talk until you get over yourself and start listening to your own thought and then ask, why am I thinking this? Where am I getting it from? Why do I go back on my own word? Why do I talk so much about all I want to dream about? And then I notice that I can't even decide for myself. Think about that. Have you even been in deciding mode in your whole life? I mean, women got voters' right 100 years ago. Let me ask you, do you even make your own calls in life? How much do you decide for yourself? Because if you never do that, it's time to start practicing. You can't be spoon-fed what the world tells you should do or not your whole life and think you're gonna be happy. So I want to show you an example of what nobody, of course, can eat, because nobody can glutton like this. Let's say I can do this no problem. Not anymore, because what happens when you get lean and stick lean, and the longer you do it, and I've been doing this for a long, long time without being Fighterdiet tsunami waving. I did stop that in 2017, and then even more when I had my hamstring surgery. That was like my ultimate proof to the world that you can sit in your butt injured and still get shredded, because diet is king. And I proved it to you. And nobody liked me then, because everyone wanted to see me, oh, poor me, I'm gonna fatten up and then start over. And everyone was gonna fatten off with me together in a group. That's what the world was hoping. And I was like, I don't do that. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm a lifestyle person, not a project person. I don't do the all or nothing and start over. I continue. Life is a one-time chance, just like this. I don't do the start and start over. It's not worth my life. It takes too much work to work it off. I don't have it. It takes too much. And I'm a hard worker guy. Shouldn't that say something? So let's have an example now for what nobody else does. So I'm gonna say this is what I used to do. Okay, I plan to refeed, or I plan to have a regular cheat day in Sweden back in my days. Everyone could eat normal. I couldn't, because I can eat more than I could ever get away with. And people say, oh, that you can't eat that much. Trust me, there's a reason why so much fast food and junk food is sold around the world, because someone is buying it. So you can pretend you never ate it, but you ended up obese or overweight or not as lean as you want to be. No matter what body fat percentage, you at some point ate in a surplus consistently in order to gain that outcome. It's no different than it takes a long time to build muscle. You have to keep doing it, because if you don't, you're not going to get the muscle accumulation. Same thing with fat gain and fat loss. But if you keep on looking into, oh, it's going to take so long to lose a pound of fat, well, that's why you're going to be overwhelmed and feel discouraged, because it's such a slow thing. So don't even think about it. There's no way around it except for distract yourself into the fun of fitness life. That's what I do with my life with bodybuilding and fitness, what I teach you. You have to get away from looking at numbers all the time and looking at what you're doing and adherence, and fall in love with training, eating big and stuffing yourself like a pig, having proper refeeds, get out of the junk food. Stop sponsoring the junk food industry, and stop believing all the diet culture stuff that you want to continue because you're so scared of letting go of all your prison rules. You don't want to get out of it, I wonder. So here's an example. So I couldn't keep it together. I feel like I missed out. I ate an apple too many. All or nothing goes in. I don't want to win over myself, because I want to eat all the food and then pretend that I'm going to be stronger later. And I believe myself. So then it usually happens around noon. I can't keep it together. Go to my car and then start the binge eating. Here is a list I just made for a typical day. And now you're going to say, oh my God, that's so much. It's not. Okay, remember? This is a normal. So 2 Snickers, no problem. 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, that's just one small one of those. 24 pieces of sushi is no problem. Guys, 24, I could eat double, no problem. And this is a piece of sushi with fried onion, sauce and stuff like that. So much more calories. And it's definitely not, it's junk food. Sushi is glorified junk food. Just so you know, there's sugar in the rice, and also there's no vegetables almost, and also very low volume and high calories. So definitely not a food that you're gonna get lean from just by that. Then we have 2 Reese's peanut butter cups, 2 pieces, 2 Danish with cheese, 1 bag chips, half a bottle of wine, 1 turkey club sandwich, 24 ounces orange juice, because you know you get thirsty when you eat so much, 1 medium smoothie with non-fat yogurt, and all that adds up to 6,121 calories. That is about 1¼ pound of body fat gain in one day. And since this is very low volume and very high refined calories, you might even kind of get away with it the next day. So when you go up there, you're tempted to try on the scale. You might not have gained anything, because this was a lot of fat and sugar and so on. But it takes longer than just like overnight to accumulate new body fat. So you might just have waited to see that you're gonna accumulate body fat 2 days after. So the next day you notice that, wait, why do I feel like thicker in the skin, not as watery or like thin skin before, like flabby? Well, you just got new body fat, and every time you convert new body fat from having first dieted to be on a deficit, now you make your body more likely to want to proliferate fat cells so it can store more. Now you're gonna have more crying for more fat to be stuffing up if you ever try to empty them again. Then every time you do that, now you have more fat cells that are gonna be crybabies. In order to get rid of this, you have to be consistent with the other way, the Fighterdiet way, and that we don't do this all or nothing. We don't let ourselves have eating disorders pretending that that is normal. Yeah, it's normal in this shitty diet culture, but that doesn't mean that it should be healthy or something we should do. I refuse to let people have their eating disorders in class that then come to me and pretend that there's something wrong with your body. It's not. You are just not doing what you should do for your body, and that's not your body's fault. It's you, your mind. You, the mind, decides what your body is gonna end up with manifesting in the look you see in the mirror. And if you want to have so much of this, I need to be motivated in order to keep going. Well, if you want to get motivated, then do what you need to do to get the motivation. That means staying on point, not to look at the scale and the numbers only, and your calories in and calories out, and your scale and all that acute. But instead, look at your personality, look at your traits, your character. How are you behaving? I don't care about looking at your body until I see, are you complying or you're just talking? And most people do like to talk when they're strong, how they're never gonna do this, and now they know better. And then they found me, they think I'm a fitness Jesus. And then you notice that when you're alone, you're still gonna act on it because your gluttony, your lack of discipline, your lack of remembering your goals gets you into being a little pigging out and eating all that stuff that goes straight to sabotaging what you've been working so long with. Is it worth it? No. So what this is how you can end up with one day of eating. And just so you see, this might look like, oh, you would never eat this much. But I know a lot of people in there who are just like me. This is no problem. This wouldn't even make me feel nauseous. 1 pound of fat. So how long would that take to go? Well, if you think about now, let's say you had this, and then on Monday you're gonna come back and do the Monday check-in that you were such a glutton and you're never gonna do this and you forgot what I said and you should have reached out and all the stuff. You know, you knew exactly what you should do, but you didn't want to. That's the problem. When you know what you need to do, you become like pure faith. You know, when you know it, you can't lie to yourself anymore. And this is full in denial about reality and also not wanting to own up to consequences. You're just kind of dreamer. You're a dreamer that someday in the future you're gonna be able to get away from this and still get the body. Big fat never gonna happen. I didn't get away with it. I had to exhaust and get to know everything in my mind, everything. That's why you consider myself so strong, right? Yeah, you know how much work it took? And I didn't even have someone that I can actually reach out to at all. And you have me and you don't do it. Why? Because you want to eat like gluttons and then start over. But I just know when you start over, what you're gonna do then, Monday when cardio comes after this, means you're gonna spend 2 weeks or so burning this off on all your daily regular. Because if you think about it, 1,500 calories is what I put you on to get lean and shredded. That's a good default to go. Now that means you have 4,000 calories from this that you have to burn up. Well, that's gonna be about like 15 hours or so intense cardio in that week. That's before you are going to tap into the fat store that you wanted to burn up before this happened. So as you can see, you can spend a whole year with me thinking you're getting somewhere because you believe your confidence. You believe that cool, tough person that you want to be in your mind that is so disciplined, strong, buff, know exactly how to do it, walk around here in a little black dress with high heels looking awesome, and you want to be able to just have a glass of wine and 3 chips and then go home and sleep? Good luck. Because you haven't done the mastering your mind in order to be able to pull that off. That requires so much practice and not letting yourself do these little tantrums where you kind of go back and glutton. And I'm hard on you because if you don't take ownership of what you're doing there, and then you go into the group and pretend that, oh, yeah, I do it too, you know, I just had a little tsunami wave. A little tsunami wave? Well, if this is a big one and you're a small one, if that your small one is like 200 calories a day only, that means you're never gonna get lean because 200 calories is a lot. Is a lot that never gonna be different. You have to be so much more consistent to get rewarded for your so-called hard work than you believe. That's why I want you to keep it simple because you are the ones who choose to be overwhelmed with diet. When I say keep it simple, get out of all the stuff you've been told, now start relearning because I'm gonna teach you once and for all how to do it, then you know how to do it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna just, hold on, I'm gonna stop this one. Hold on, I'm gonna be here.